Folks, for years they were the band with Frankie, Beverly, and Mays. Now the seven brothers have ventured on their own, added some other members in themselves, calling themselves TMF, the music forever. Joining me in studio, Rome, Daniel Witherspoon, Jubu, Chris Walker joins us from Houston. Calvin Napper is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Vance Taylor is in Atlanta. And Bear Williams joins us from Chicago. So first of all, gents, glad to see y'all. How's it going?
You.
All is well.
Man. Good to see you. Living my best life.
Okay, well, ain't nothing wrong living your best life. So TMF stands for what?
The Music Forever. It's
All
an
right.
acronym for the Music Forever.
All right, because in February when the release came out of y'all launching the tour, it was something else.
It was.
Right.
Yes.
The Maze
All right.
factor at the time.
Huh?
It was the Maze factor at the time.
Gotcha. All right, so how did we get here? For the longest, I mean, you were one of the founding members of Maze, right?
Yeah.
All right, how long, you were in the group for how long?
23 years.
23 years?
2 years.
2 years. And who else who else is on?
Bear's 20 years. Calvin's 13 years. Vance is 20 years as well.
Got it. So it's a long, long time.
Yeah.
What happened? How did we get to this point?
Well, I think Bear can explain that.
All right, Bear? Bear, you got me?
Doing, Roland. All right, yeah. Basically, let me just start by saying thank you for having us on. Thank you for allowing us to clear the air, if you will, about this particular subject. We had basically a breakdown in communication with the new management company that took over after our former management suddenly passed away about almost 2 years ago now.
Yep.
And so there was a new management team brought in. We did not know them. You know, we had been with the other team for as long as I've been there for 20 years, you know. And so they came in, they promised us, you know, transparency. They promised us open book, you know, open door policy. And at first, everything seemed like it was going to be just that. But as quickly it started to deteriorate, less and less communication. And the communication thing finally came to a head. We were scheduled, the band that you know now as TMF, we were scheduled to perform with Frankie at the May 7th performance of Maze featuring Frankie Beverly at the NOLA Jazz and Heritage Festival.
Yep.
What happened with that was we did not perform because we had a labor dispute, and management decided that, you know, basically it was not worth negotiating with us on it. And so they basically canceled our tickets, our flights. And so that was it. That was the end of Maze as you have known it, or fans have known it for 20 years. That's basically it. They let us go. And we have nothing but love for Frankie. We have nothing but, that's the reason we decided to band together and continue on the legacy of the music. Frankie has not retired. We never said he was retired. We never said that that he should have retired. We never tried to attempt a coup to take over the band. That was some things that are said. There's been a lot of erroneous things said online about us, which simply are not true. We have nothing but the utmost respect and love for Frankie, and we just wanted to see the music in our way continue. And that's basically it. If anybody else wants to add anything, they certainly can. But that's it from my perspective. It was basically just a labor dispute. You know, sometimes things don't work out. And was it painful? Sure, of course it was. It's a long, long time to be with someone, you know, in that capacity and not, you know, end up with that person. You think you're going to be, you know, ending up that, you know, for the duration. And it just didn't work out that way. But we're glad that we have been able to band together as a group and continue on with TMF. Of course, we've got the new single out, Making Love to the Music, and that's where we are, Roland.
It was surprising and shocking to a lot of different people, and because you're talking about long-standing relationships.
Oh, yeah. 55 years for me.
Rome came up with the name Maze. Rome named the band.
Mm-hmm.
And to add to what Bear just said, the hurtful part was, you have new people coming in that we didn't even know these people. We weren't even allowed to talk to Mr. Beverly. We weren't allowed to, we only saw him when we hit the stage. So it was just really, really weird. But we had always talked about the thing that kept us together was our love for each other. We have a strong love for each other. So, I mean, I was really saying, hey man, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing the music. And ironically, when you broke the story, you text me the night before at 10 o'clock, and they will tell you, I'm nocturnal. That one particular night, I fall asleep, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yo, I get a text from Roland, what's going on? And you say, hey man, what's going on? Next thing I turn on the TV, and the story is out there. So that was ironic, but because I had just saw you the week earlier in Los Angeles. Yep. And so it really was just a breakdown in management, and we really, me personally, I just felt it was very, very disrespectful, the way the new regime started to handle us. You know, basically, you are sidemen. And I was like, sidemen, if that's the case, then why are we on the pictures? Why are we on the t-shirts? Why are we on the website? Why are we, you know, I'm not a sideman. That's not what Frankie told me. Frankie said, we're a band. You know, so it really was a breakdown in management, and we were never able to speak to Mr. Beverly. And once again, like Bear said, the hurtful thing is we are a band of brothers, and we love that man. I mean, I love that man. I was playing with Whitney Houston. He called me himself. And I left immediately because I love this band and I love that man. So that's the thing that's important to me, that the people know that it's nothing against Mr. Beverly.
Yeah, and more importantly,
go ahead.
Correct.
with this band, I mean, with these musicians, I mean, just phenomenal musicians and their body of work. I mean, if you went around the horn, they played and performed with some iconic people. And having that, there was no way we were going to just allow anything but us sticking together, even after Frank decided to retire. Our plan was always to continue as a band and close a chapter and begin a new journey.
Have y'all talked to Frankie since?
No. No, I reached out to him. I left him a heartfelt message. But again, it's a lot of control on that end. A lot of control.
I mean, that has to be surprising. I mean, because look, it's not like, you know, like some folks where they perform, you know, occasionally. Y'all on the road constantly. Y'all were forever.
9 months out of the year, easy.
I forgot, I'm sorry I forgot his name, but when, was he your drummer? When he passed,
McKinley Williams. He was our other percussionist.
Right, and you were on tour.
Yes.
And he passed away.
Yeah.
Y'all performed that.
We were in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We were in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they pronounced him passed at about 5 o'clock.
He had a heart attack.
He had a heart attack, and Frankie called each one of us individually, and he said, "What do you guys think?" And honestly, we all said McKinley would want to perform. And I mean, we were all crying, and it was crazy, but that might have been one of our best shows because that's who he was. He was a player. He played. You know, that's what he lived for. So we did that to honor him, but it was tough.
Of course. I'll say when I got a notification, I was kind of like, yo, what is this? When you're announcing this, you did your first performance together. Christopher, that was in Atlanta, correct?
Father's Day.
Chastain Park.
Yeah.
Father's Day?
Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah, Anthony Hamilton. Chris?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead. Just talk about, again, getting together and that first performance in Atlanta.
Well, you know, for me, that was a bit scary because, you know, the audience was so used to seeing these guys with Frankie for so many years. I was on pins and needles because, of course, you know, I'm a huge fan and I've been a fan for so many years. In fact, I got my start in the business working with Regina Bell, and her first tour was opening for Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. I was 19 years old, and I was singing a duet in the show with her. And many nights I would look in the wing, and there would be Frankie standing there listening. And on a number of occasions, he came up to me and said, "Young man, keep doing what you're doing. You have a great voice. You're going to make it one day." Of course, fast forward, I never thought in a million years that I would be in this position working with these incredible guys. So Chastain Park, we're there. We walk out on stage. The audience is sitting there with their arms folded, mean mugging us. I mean, it was tough. So the first 4 songs, you know,
And again, hold on. So for the audience to understand, so this was the press release. So people at home probably saying, "Okay, I understand why they were." No, do not go. No, just stay on me. Just understand, folks. This was the press release, and this is probably why they were like, "Man, what in the hell is going on?" And it was TMF, formerly of Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly kickoff tour in Atlanta, an all-white affair. Now you can go into it, an all-white affair starring Anthony Hamilton and the formerly of Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Okay, and so then they had the photo as well. So the audience was probably like, what in the hell is going on? Is this like an imposter group? Because look, those of us who understand music, we know with the Temptations, when they sued Dennis Edwards, you've had the Spinners, you've had these sort of different groups. And so, Chris, go ahead. You said the audience was arms folded, looking like, what y'all gonna do?
Look here. So the first thing I said when I addressed them, I said, it's pretty obvious. We know who I'm not and who I'm not trying to be. And I can't be. No one can ever replace Frankie Beverly. You know, so once they...
And y'all came out there in all that white.
Well, you know.
So they were really trying to cuss y'all out. Go ahead.
But I'll tell you, man, before we go on stage, we pray. And the guys told me, they said, just speak from your heart. And after I addressed them, it was like pouring hot water on ice. The audience, there was a shift in the atmosphere, and they embraced us. And from that moment on, they couldn't deny it. I mean, and people were out there, you know, you could see heads moving and the toes tapping, but in those first 4 songs, they were just confused and in their emotions. But after that, man, it was a party, and we ended the night with a standing ovation.
Let me jump in there, Chris.
So they would look at y'all like the guest preacher?
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We have pride, too, and we knew we're the DNA. For the last 20-plus years, we're the DNA, right? So when it got to golden time of day and I walked out to do my part, I'm looking at the people like, y'all not going to get with me? Y'all don't remember me? I'll solo for the rest of the night until y'all, you know. So it was that thing to where once Chris really did pour out his heart and tell these people, hey, we're not trying to replace Mr. Beverly. No one can do that. We just want to keep playing music, man, you know. And the people started, it was almost to a point where they felt ignorant. They felt stupid holding a grudge like, it's good music.
Right. I think a lot of it was curiosity, too. You know, they had heard about us, but they actually wanted to see us.
And it's a tremendous amount of respect for Mr. Beverly, which we get.
Yeah.
You know.
And one thing I'll add, I said to the audience, you can't deny these guys. They've been with him for 20 plus years. And all I said to the audience was, please just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. And they did. They opened up their hearts, man, and they embraced us.
I want to bring in Calvin and Vance. Calvin, go ahead, your thoughts.
I'm sorry?
I said, Calvin, your thoughts. Go ahead.
Oh, well, like I said, Bear said it best, and we have nothing but love for Frankie Beverly, and I love him. I've been in the band for 13 years. I've learned a lot from him. You know, Frankie is actually, a lot of people may not notice, but he's actually, you know, he's a drummer. And in a rehearsal or two, he sat on my kit to try to, you know, show me some things and whatever. But no, I've learned a lot from him, and there's a lot of love from us to him. And we just want to carry on the legacy of the music, Roland. That's all. While also, you know, creating our own music, you know, our own original music. And so which we're working on, and we'll be putting an album out in the first quarter of 2024. So, yeah, man, just we're just praying for God to open the right doors and close the ones that are not meant for us.
Vance?
Amen to that.
You know.
Well, I want to mirror what everybody else said, man. It's been about love for me. Ever since I've been with Frank, he showed me love, and then the audience showed us love. And now that we've moved on, we just want to still do the same thing. We really love Frankie. We love the audience. We just want to bring good music to the world, man. We just thank everybody for those that have supported us, and those that haven't. Understand that all we want to do is make you happy. Show some of this love that we've had for these years. So that's where we are.
Exactly.
That's where we
Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm the youngest in the group. I was the youngest to come on. I was there about 2 years. I didn't get the pleasure of interacting with Mr. Beverly when I first came in. I came in as a sub. And I believe our first couple of rehearsals in Atlanta, he didn't even come. So I really didn't even get to meet him until after the first performance. But then about a year later, I got a phone call from him asking to be a part. And we've been there for 2 years, and it was a good time. Myself and Calvin have about 25 years of history together. I've known some of the guys together, and we've just grown together. And TMF has formed a great brotherhood, and we're really excited to release some music.
These people, they think I never pay attention, but I see everything. And I would love to get your response to this, because I think this is sort of what you talked about. So this person named Brother King Lee, this is interesting. He goes, the audience wants the real thing. I love music. For me, it doesn't matter if I know the name of the musicians. But the problem with that is the musicians were the one playing the music. So it's not like when you're talking about, I'll give you the perfect example. You mentioned performing with Whitney Houston. All right. So on her hit, I Will Always Love You. I know because I got all of his music. That's Kirk Whalum on saxophone. But the reality is, you went to see Whitney Houston. The difference here is, it was Mays featuring Frankie Beverly. It wasn't just, and again, I love Frankie. He knows exactly how I feel about him, but it was actually a group, not a solo singer. So when somebody says, I don't care about the musicians, it's a little hard to say I don't care about the musicians, because that's the music.
Right.
Yeah,
That's one thing,
and
Roland.
the way Frank writes,
Hold tight 1 second, Ron, go ahead.
in the very beginning, Frank would come to us with the song completed with an acoustic guitar. And cats would come up with their own lines, patterns, groove, and we all created that style. And in that, you can never say, of course, Frank is a solo artist, writer, producer, but it's always been band first. And without the band, Frank, if he wanted to, could have been a solo artist.
But it's also why when you play the intro of some songs, the audience already knows what the song is before they even hear one lyric. Go ahead. I don't know who was speaking. I'm going to go to Jubal first and then come back to you. Go ahead.
He could have been a solo artist, but he chose not to. And I would tell people all the time, Frankie was the last person to walk on the stage every night.
Right.
He would not go on that stage without the band. So for me personally, when management told me I was an independent contractor, man, that was so hurtful, man. Because that's never what even Frankie said. Frankie said, no, we are a band. We are a band. And the reason why the people loved it so much, because that's what you heard. You heard a band. Yeah, we were being led by an amazing artist, but it's a band, man. You know, it's an 18-wheeler.
Undeniable.
It's an 18-wheeler,
Undeniable.
and he was driving that thing. You know what I mean? But, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Whoever was speaking, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I wanted to add
Go ahead.
to that, what I wanted to say was, no artist is an island. No one. I don't care who's singing. I don't care who wrote the songs. Those people that they incorporate in that conglomeration, that group, that whatever it is, there's a certain DNA that each musician brings to the table that makes or breaks that music. And for someone like you said to say, well, I don't care who's playing. You know, it's kind of I'll say it. It's insulting to someone who has been in the trenches as long as I have, as long as we have with this group. It's our DNA for the last 20 years. For me,
Well,
it's our DNA.
It's sort of like when the Funk Brothers, when the documentary came out, and people finally got a chance to know who these artists are, who actually played on more #1 hits than anybody else. You can't, you can't have a conversation about the Motown sound, and you call it the Motown sound, but you're only talking about the artists without understanding, yes, how those songs came together, and how it's put together. And a lot of people go ahead.
The creativity came from everyone, and it always has with us and most artists that I know of. I mean, there's some solo artists, there's some exceptions. Prince played everything, so he didn't really need to do what Frank did. But for the most part, it's been a band, and Frank is a band guy. That's why he wasn't a solo artist.
Even Prince live, he had to have those players, they rehearsed for 6 months before they went on tour, because he had to massage those DNAs to make it what it was for that tour, that
Whether
moment.
New Power Generation or any other different. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I also wanted to say this too, and I used to say this to Frank all the time, like, the music is bigger than the people that created it. The music stands. And we had some backlash when we first started this thing. How dare you guys go and play that music? And I would say, people, have you been to a local club lately? There's a million tribute bands that's playing this music.
Right here in D.C.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was in Birmingham and the group was playing. Whenever I travel the country, I like to go listen to live music. So when I was in St. Louis, when I was in Birmingham, I'll be anywhere. I'm like, yo, I want to go hear some live music. And you're going to hear, and then what's going to happen? You're going to hear the whole audience singing the song. And again, and they know the musical parts as well as the lyrics. And so they understand all of it.
We've got to get back to making love to the music. Have you ever thought about the day when we first met and everything was good? You were so sweet as the fresh morning dew, and I knew you were the one for me. You came into my world, gave me a reason to smile again. Every time I hear our favorite song on the radio, takes me back to the first time we made love. Oh, yeah. Making love to the music. Feel it in your heart and in your soul. Feel it in your heart and in your soul. Yeah. Making love to the music. This feeling can make you lose control.
Folks, that is Making Love to the Music by TMF. How did that song come together? Where did it start? Chris?
Yep.
You wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it, of course, with these guys in mind, and I knew what they would bring to it, and they brought it to life. And yeah, it's a sensual song. It's grown folks music, which is something that I believe is missing today.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you say grown folks music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's grown up. I mean, it's real live musicians. We counted on it, went from top to bottom, tried it again, made our corrections, made our edits, put our life into it, put our energy to it, and we're very secure on who we are. We're very solid on, not intimidated by the market. We love this space. We love how it feels. It feels true to us. when we put it in our music.
Barry, you're there in Chicago. I understand the Steppers are loving it there.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's so funny. When we were putting it together, I had not thought about it being a Steppers track, but when I played it in the car, I think we had done the Memorial Day show or something, and I came back home and put it in. I was like, well, I'll be doggone. This is a Steppers track. So yeah, the Steppers DJs here in town are really embracing it, and they are loving what we're doing.
And Roland, I noticed, I was kind of watching you. I saw you getting ready to get up and start doing some steps. I saw you.
Oh, first of all, let's be real clear, okay? I played cornet in elementary school, bass baritone horn in middle school, high school. My brother played trumpet, sister played clarinet, one played flute. Mom sang with her sister. So I'm always getting music. So me dancing, that ain't nothing new.
I've seen them dancing many.
Come on now, that ain't nothing new.
Hey,
So look,
brother, get down.
Oh yes, absolutely. Because I like good music. I like good music. How do you know? Drew, I'll start with you. How do you know when a song when it's done and you go, yeah, that's hitting right. That's hitting right. Because not everything does that. But how do you know when you go, that's it?
Well, from my perspective, take this song for instance. When he brought it to us, he said, hey man, you guys just do your thing, right? So we were all just honest. We were all honest, but everybody's bad. Like, most humbly, we're some bad brothers on our instruments. So what we had to do is come in a mind of production. It's not live. We're producing this right now, right? And so when we all went back in the room, it's like, wow, man, this feels good. It feels good. And we really did. We knew. We really knew, man. Mm-hmm. And it was like he said, it was just a fact of, okay, how's the market gonna take this? But I'm gonna take something from Kanye. We're the market. We're the market. And that's how we're feeling about it. We're gonna do this music, and you're gonna love this music, or you're gonna feel ridiculously dumb for not loving this music.
And it was so easy to record, as well as easy for him to produce. It makes it all easy for everybody because, again, the one thing we have live as well in the studio is the chemistry. And that's big, in anything you do. If you have that, that's special. And we've had that with Maze as well as TMF.
And I think, Calvin, that's the thing. I remember for years when I was in Chicago, WVON radio, and then even when I did the special on Maze and Frankie Beverly for TV One, and I would ask people all around the country, I would say, what is it about the music? Why do black people respond the way they do? And it was always these very interesting answers that people would give, whether it was Cornel West or Susan Taylor or Michael Dyson or Usher, all this sort of people. And the thing about it was the most important thing people would say is they would say how it makes us feel. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I think that's at the end of the day, when you listen even to this song, how do you feel listening to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, Kay got the one word. Yeah, he like, that's it. Vance, go ahead.
Man, that's what I've always been about music, man. Even when I play, it's all about how it feels to me. And that's what this thing our whole band when we first did the song, it just seemed to, I felt like I wrote it. That's how much it felt good to me. So I'm in agreement with it about how it makes me feel.
Chris, as a songwriter, explain to the public how when you write something, writing it looks totally different than how it comes out. So for you, seeing how the lyrics were received and then what the output was?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't write the songs. I'm just a vessel that God uses to get the music out. Sometimes I'll sit down and play one note on the keyboard, and a whole song will just appear. And I think it's just the Holy Spirit working through me to help people feel good. And the thing about it is, when I'm in the moment and I'm writing it, it's like I get excited about it. And if I get excited about it, I believe that'll translate to someone else because of how I'm receiving it. So that's my process. And whether it's I'm writing jazz, gospel, R&B, it doesn't matter. Whatever the Holy Spirit gives me, that's what comes out.
All right.
Oh, I get it. Look, I don't write speeches. I just ask them how much time I got. I do.
Boom.
No, literally, I don't.
All right.
I don't even write. I gave a speech once. It was so funny. This woman's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing. We want to print the whole thing in our black newspaper." I was like, "Y'all better get somebody to transcribe it." She's like, "Can I get your notes?" I said, "Baby, ain't no notes." She's like, "You don't have any note cards?" I'm like, "Nope, that's all on top of my head." I said, "So transcribe it."
That's one of your gifts. Period. That's one of your gifts.
And so but that's the thing that I think for a lot of people, again, when I go back to the music. So I said it earlier. And Bear, you can answer this. When anybody here has gone to a Maze featuring Frankie Beverly concert, you could play the first 10 seconds of a song. You can play the first 5 seconds. In many cases, 3 seconds, and then the audience knows what the song is. Mm-hmm. That's when people understand the power of the music. So again, lyrics are one thing, music is another, and when those two things come together, that's what makes a great song. Bear, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. We would have when we were touring as Maze. Like you said, we come out with "We Are One." Just the first ba-da-da-da, they know that immediately. They stand up immediately. Those first 3 notes. And it's just a magic when, like you said, when the lyric and the melody and the music and the musicianship come together, it's an amazing blessing. And so the other thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that we're talking about the process. We actually have a mini documentary that we did on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, called TMF Making Love to the Music, the studio sessions, that actually shows our process and how we put the song together. It's about 11 minutes long. It's not long at all. But if people want to check that out, they can go to our YouTube, and that's all of our social media, by the way, is TMF The Soul Band, at TMF The Soul Band. So wherever they want to go. But yeah, people should check that out. It's a really cool way to see the process and how we put the whole thing together.
Cool. Let's talk about album. So are you working on it now?
Yeah, we have something coming out next year, around February, I believe it is.
That's the target.
And everyone will be writing. We're going to have everyone submit, their own thing. So you're going to be hearing original material. And then live, I'm thinking we're going to always do the Maze guns, the hits. But it'll be pretty much a TMF set.
All right, so everybody's gonna be writing. So do y'all have like a Motown Berry Gordy setup? Thumbs up, thumbs down. So how y'all go about what makes the cut?
It's a consensus.
It's a consensus.
Yeah.
Like it has to be unanimous?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Does it?
No 4-3 votes.
Is it us? Is it truly us? Or, is it something? We're working on something right now where do we have to bend it? How much do we have to do to it to make it us? Maybe it's not us. Maybe it's one of us individually, but not TMF,
Okay.
So, but we are all songwriters, we're all producers, and that's the beauty about this thing too, because we all kind of know, yeah, this is gonna work for us, And if it doesn't work for us, it works for someone else,
Yeah, and each cat has a different narrative, as far as the writing goes. Again, these cats, I'm so glad to be around them because, see, I've been with Frankie for 55 years. These cats have been around with different musicians, played on albums. So it's just, I keep telling them, you're keeping me young. I'm 55.
Well, about bringing different styles and dynamics and different
55,
sounds.
what am I saying?
Yeah, I was looking like
74, I'm sorry. See, you know you're old when you say you're 55.
I mean, I'll be 55 in 2 weeks. I was like, right. Like, I'm sitting like, I'll be 55 November 14th. I was like, really? Really?
Yeah, my bad, but I also wanted to mention with the Maze songs, before I let go, a Maze anthem, and I don't think there's any black party, barbecue.
Oh, no, it's the second, I'm saying it's the
Come
second
on now.
national black anthem.
That's it?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
It's the staple.
Right. So before I'm saying they playing that. Before I Let Go is the second national black anthem, and Can't We Talk by Tevin Campbell is close to becoming the third. It's gonna take Swag. I'm gonna see if Swag Surfing is still around 10 years from now. See if that makes the cut. But right now, without a doubt, Before I Let Go, it lift their voice and sing, and Before I Let Go.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I gave a speech. And somebody said, we about to sing we about to sing the Black National Anthem. And I was like, you about to sing Before I Let Go? That's what you do. I mean, that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Yes, sir.
Chris, tell us about this work on this first album.
It's magic. I mean, so far we recorded 5 songs, and it's when I tell you the synergy is there, and I think the people are going to feel it, and the musicianship, like each guy has stated, has been amazing. I mean, the songs pretty much play themselves. So we're excited to get on the road and perform it live for the people. So sky's the limit.
All right, final thoughts. Calvin, you first. No one-word answers.
Oh, no. No, man, I just, these guys, Roland, everybody in this band, man, they're super talented, super gifted. And it's been said earlier tonight, I think Jubal mentioned it and Ron mentioned it. There's a chemistry here, man. You can put guys together, right? But you can put some bad guys together, but if there's no chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Because chemistry is everything. It's just like in relationships. If you don't have the right chemistry, it's just not going to work. And just like outside of the music and off the stage, I've grown, in relationship with these guys through, it's love here, man. It's just nothing but love. And then like when we get on our instrument, it just translates, man. It's just so pure. We can sit down at our instruments on the sound check, man, and we can just strike up a groove. Everybody falls in place. It's just like, it's amazing, man. And I'm just praying that, whatever opportunities God has for us, man, that we'll walk into all of those, And I'm just looking forward to this new journey, man, and this new chapter with these guys. And much respect to Frankie Beverly, because like Larry said and all the other guys, I love him. I think we all love him, and that's where I am, man. Thanks so much for having us on, Roland. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. Vance?
Yes, sir.
I feel the same way. We brought, with Frankie Beverly, the audience came to enjoy, and we came to play, and the synergy was just amazing. So we want to do the exact same thing with what we have right now, because we're all coming from love and from spirit, and we want to give that to the people because we know that they'll enjoy it, and it's coming from our hearts. And so just come out, check us out. I can't wait for y'all to hear all the stuff that we have in the box for you.
Daniel.
I'm glad people I'm truly glad that people still respect it, feel it, honor it. And the system has caused a lot of people to be programmed on what's hot or what's good. But you have a band of brothers here that really just stick true to our instruments.
But what's hot and good don't always last.
Hot and good don't always last, but what feels good connects to people. People know what feels right. They know what came from the heart.
See, I call it all shit music.
You can say that.
No, seriously, because you listen to a song, you like, that's a nice song. But then when the right be like, shit.
That's my joint.
Everything don't rise to an all shit song.
People know.
So,
Yeah, they know. They know what's right. and we don't always give them enough credit. We don't always give the listener enough credit.
Right.
But I'm glad to be a contributor. I'm glad to be a part of it. And never knew 30, 40 years ago, this is where we'd be sitting and talking about extending live music. But we're here and we're gonna keep grinding.
Chris.
Well, the only thing I would like to ask is that for the public is just to keep TMF lifted in prayer, and also to keep Frank and his camp lifted in prayer. This is not easy, especially from my perspective, because of course Frankie can never be replaced, but singing those songs and honoring him is truly like a lifelong dream for me. So I just ask people to keep both camps lifted in prayer as we embark on this new journey as TMF.
Jubu.
The word for me is consistency. What has made Maze featuring Frankie Beverly the iconic group that they are? Consistency. Frank was consistency. He taught me consistency. What's leading TMF now, I'll give you a small secret. What has gotten us to this place, every Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock without fail, we have a Zoom meeting. That Zoom meeting starts with prayer. Then we go down the list of what we're trying to accomplish till we get to next Wednesday. That Zoom meeting ends with prayer. We are all God-loving, God-fearing men. And we have faith, and we're going to be consistent. And like Chris said, all we ask is that you come and enjoy the music. That's all we ask for, because there's no animosity towards where we were in our past. We're just looking toward the future, and we want everybody to be blessed.
There.
Wow, I mean, it's an incredible place that we're in right now. Again, I'm just piggybacking off of what everybody else said. Nothing but love for Frank and his camp, and nothing but love for these guys here in TMF and our new journey together. The music is not only reaching here in the States, Roland, but it's also now catching fire over in Europe and in the UK. And we could not be happier about that. We're gearing up to really hit every place we can hit, because people are on our social media. People are like, come to Detroit, come to Buffalo, come to this place, come to that place, and I'm usually responding. I'm like, yeah, we're working on it, we're working on it. But that's really where this band lives. We love the studio, but it's a live band. We love and live for live. And so, yeah, like everybody says, we just want you guys to come out, have a great time, and connect with TMF online as well as when we do live shows.
Where are y'all next?
Detroit.
When?
24th of November.
24th of November, day after Thanksgiving. And Mr. Martin, personally, thank you for sharing your platform with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that when you own it. Rome, you get to close us out.
Yeah, I want to also, we go back a long way, man. Thank you for your support throughout.
We don't go back 55 years, but go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, man, because you've been a part of that journey as well. Thank you for this opportunity, because this is big. This is what we need, exposure. We need people to see us and see what we're about. You've given us that opportunity. So, and again, for the fans, we love the fact that you're still supporting us. And we want you to continue to support TMF as well. And thanks, brother. This means a lot.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Trust me.
I appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
When Nell sent me the song, I was like, all right, I see we got a groove to it. I was like, okay. I was in the car, so I couldn't dance. But I always play music on my Instagram Live. I'm always doing that. And the thing about it is, for me, what I love about music is you could be in a bad mood, you could be awful, you could have got fired, your woman could have left you, your man could have left you, you could have failed a grade or whatever, but you put certain songs on, and it's going to completely transform your mind, transform your energy. It makes you remember mother and father, it makes you remember...
Oh yeah, nostalgic.
All of that.
Yes,
so they're markers in life, and so I think that's what great music does. And again, as somebody who played in the band, I have a different appreciation for musicians. I'm fine with folk who sing all kind of electronic stuff, but it's something different when that live band is really getting going. So I really hope the people certainly appreciate what y'all are doing. Frankie still travels. He still performed with Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. When I remember when I did the story, there were some people who were it was all on social media speculating. Oh, he's retiring. And I hit him, I hit Pam. I was like, hey, is this true or not? Cause that's me. I'm always check first. I'm gonna hit folk direct. And it was so funny. Reve called me upset. Why you didn't call me? I was like, well, I hit the source first. I said, hell, I don't go to number 2. I go to number 1. That's how I roll. I said, please, that's how I roll. So that's.
I'm sure she has some 4-letter words.
I ain't care. I tell everybody I don't go through conduits. I go right to the source. That's what I did. So glad to see he's still his thing. Mad love for him. And again, the music will live on. And so I appreciate this. And this is also why and we'll close it out with this, and I tell the audience this all the time. This is also why we have to have black-owned media, because the reality is this here. We've been chatting now probably about 40, 45 minutes. And look, I know how the CNNs of the world operate, know how they work, and the reality is they wouldn't see any value whatsoever. But when we have black-owned, we get to control it, we get to own it, and we got to ask permission. And I hope a lot of people who are watching learn from it. And now understand the backstory. Now folks don't have to run around because I've heard a lot of those rumors too. They were plotting. It was a mastermind, all this sort of stuff like that. And people now get to have understanding and again appreciate the music. So let me thank Calvin, Vance, Chris, and Bear. Thank y'all for joining us via Skype. Hopefully I will see y'all somewhere soon. I ain't gonna be hard to spot. Because I'm going to be the one spinning and moving. I'm just letting y'all know, okay?
And if there's anything we can do for you, man, keep us in mind.
I appreciate it.
You got us.
I appreciate it. Gentlemen, thanks a lot. Good luck with the album. Good luck touring.